At this time, I'd like to introduce my host speaker. All of you know her. I don't have to tell you the experience she has with Unity Church and the Church Center of Enlightenment. She's our senior minister. She guides us every day with everything she can. And I am pleased to welcome Reverend Carol Willis.
Just want to acknowledge that today is Richard's first time as our chairperson, and I think he's doing a great job so far. He's in our ordination program and he has practicum that he has to complete, and this is one of those times. In case you haven't recognized what I'm going to talk about this morning, the commandments of love that Jesus so wonderfully shared with us. And I'm going to read the Bible account one more time. This one, it appears in two books of the Bible, Matthew 22 and Mark 12. But I love the book of Matthew, so that's what I'm going to use. But the Pharisees heard that he had silenced the Sadducees, and they gathered together. Then one of them, a lawyer, asked him a question, testing him and saying, "Teacher, what is the great commandment in the law?" Jesus said to him, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. That is the first and great commandment. And the second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets." We know the story of Moses bringing the Ten Commandments to the Israelites when they were on their journey to the Promised Land. And that was necessary because the people were disobedient, they were unfaithful, they worshiped multiple gods, and they were undisciplined. And so this is the reason why we see God in one way in the Old Testament, and then we see something different in the New Testament. These folks needed guidance, and so the commandments were given by way of Moses, and they all started with "Thou shalt not." Thou shalt not. And then Jesus came to earth, and the consciousness changed to one of love. Jesus gave us the two great commandments based on love, and I read those to you. But I don't know about you, but I have trouble with this idea of loving my neighbor as myself. I've been struggling with this. And I know the reason why. Because I keep looking at people's behavior and passing judgment on them for their behavior. Rudeness, disrespectfulness, inconsideration, and so on and so on and so on. And if I'm on the road in traffic, oh my gosh, holy cow. I can come unglued watching people drive. My favorite is they're in the right-hand lane and all of a sudden they have to make a left-hand turn right through the lanes. It's like, I'm trying to take more deep breaths and stop the negative adjectives. You idiot, what did you do? And of course, that doesn't benefit them or benefit me. We have to look deeper than their behavior because that is only the human side of each of us. We have forgotten they are a spiritual being having a human experience, but it goes even deeper because each of us is a soul. I brought this book with me today, and I just started reading it. It was a gift from my friend Reverend Peggy Conkle, and it's titled Understanding Your Soul: The Channeled Wisdom of Jesus. And believe it or not, this is a unity book. I never thought I'd see the day where they would move into some of the things that we believe and work with all the time. And just as a side note, the first Saturday workshop in October, I'll be teaching ideas from this book. If you're planning on attending, I need to know in advance because there's going to be handouts. So in this book, Jesus speaks of expanded and contracted energy. And since we know everything is energy, we are either expanding energy or contracting it. When we live in unconditional love, we expand energy. When we're not in unconditional love, we contract the energy. In chapter 3 of this book, How Do You Love in the Face of Darkness? Our souls have much information about this life we have agreed to live in this incarnation. And that agreement was made before we even came here. And we also made agreements with other souls that are part of our life. And people have told me about, for some time, about soul contracts, that our souls make contracts before we even come here. We really don't know what other souls agreed to before they came here to Earth, but we all came here to learn, to grow, and to expand the energy. But sometimes in our daily behavior, we contract the energy. The way we expand the energy is that we love. Love is who we really are. We've been created in love. And we've been given the ability and the gift to love and to be loved by ourselves and by others. And we know we're loved by God. That's a given. And so I'd like to share something from the book. These are the words of Jesus as channeled through Christine M. Bush. And I didn't think that I could expand on this any better than Jesus, so I'll just share his words. What does this mean when you are faced with darkness in your life? There is much darkness that has surfaced in your world at this time. How do you react? How do you change that darkness to light? It is not easy, but the only path to change darkness to light is through love. This love is not a passive love, but an active one. It is sometimes believed that countering anger and violence with love is a cowardly and ineffective stance, but it is the bravest, most effective stance you can take. You are to be an activist in the name of love, in the name of light. This means that you must step up to counter deeds that are done in anger, hatred, inequality, violence. You must step up to defend what is right, to protect those around you, and to protect your earth and all its inhabitants. But you do not counter anger with anger, or hatred with hatred, or violence with violence. These are the cowardly acts. These are the ineffective acts. These are the acts that contract your energy and the energy of the universe. And who would think that we're affecting the energy of the entire universe? Every time you are injured in some way or that you see another being injured, there is a peaceful way to be found to cease the injuring. you can find that peaceful way. It's all about how we react and respond to what is happening within us and around us. Loving our neighbor as ourself may mean to look beyond the behavior and recognize the greater self. Know each person is essentially divine. That's who we really are. We are divine, but we don't always act like we're divine. Maybe if they knew the truth, they would live differently. But however others choose to live life, we can choose to expand energy, expand consciousness, and expand our outpouring of love into the race consciousness and the universal consciousness. And I want to share one more thing. Love is the energy of the universe. Love is the primal energy from which all other energies flow. Love is the vibration of the universe. Love is the vibration of creation. Love vibrates at a level that pure energy strives to attain. The vibration of love is all powerful, all healing, all knowing. This is why it is so vital that you strive for love in all instances. When your heart and your mind send out the vibration of love, that vibration impacts upon and changes the vibration of darkness. This may not be readily apparent on the physical level, but it does indeed take place. When enough of you consistently send out the vibration of love, darkness will be dispelled. This is happening. As more darkness arises, the awareness of the need for love increases. This is the beginning of the transformation of your world. This transformation will take time, but it is necessary for you to focus on the goodness that is occurring and to commit yourself to be a being of love. Acting in love is the best way to be a soldier for light. Acting in love is the most courageous action that you can take. Acting in love will change the universe. It gives a whole different perspective to us to live in love. I mean, we talk about this all the time, but the scope is big. We're either contracting or expanding the energy in the entire universe. Is it easy to love our neighbor? Not always. I lived next to a guy for a lot of years. And I used to swear and yell and shake my fist. And of course, it didn't change anything. He didn't hear anything and it wouldn't have mattered. But it had a direct impact on me to the point where I just was so upset and we had no relationship whatsoever. None. Is it easy to love ourselves? Not always. To the degree that we can love ourselves is the degree to which we are able to love others. Jesus was smart to say it all starts with us first and then flows forward. He didn't just say love others. He said love others as you would love yourself. So it has to start here first and expand outward. If we want to be an activist for love in the world, we must be an activist for love to our own self. You can't give out what you don't have. So it starts here first, and then it expands forward. One of my favorite quotes is from Gandhi: be the change you wish to see in the world. But we can actually do some substituting. We can be a change agent in the world, in our neighborhood, at our workplace, and in our home. It begins with the word be. Be the change. But I'd like to substitute some words here. Be the love you wish to see in the world. Be the love you wish to see in the world. In order to love our neighbor, we are being asked to be loving to ourselves first. With all of our wrinkles, our warts, and our sagging parts. We don't have to look perfect to be loved unconditionally. We don't have to behave perfectly to be loved unconditionally. We just need to be willing to love unconditionally and surrender to the result. We all want to be loved. We all want to love and be loving. This is our divine calling, to be how we have been created, of love by God. So thank you this morning for being here and listening to what I have to say. I hope it was meaningful to you, and I appreciate the opportunity to share. Thank you.